Hello guys, welcome to another session. In this session, we are going to look into background properties. So let's jump into the Visual Studio Code to get the understanding about the background properties. So we are into the Visual Studio Code and the setup we are having to understand the background properties is something like this. So here we are having an HTML document which is being associated with this style.css. Now let's run it and look into the output of this HTML. But prior to that, let's look into this CSS file. In this CSS file, as usual, we have applied one root div which is containing this properties and where we have applied the width of 80% of the body, and then we are having the auto margin along with 100% height with 2% padding, and we have also applied the background color for body it light grayish and root div it is white. So let's run it and let's look into the output. So as usual, you will select this HTML file, press F1 and it will give us this option. Select this option, then choose open in browser, click on this. So this is the output without applying the CSS. Now let's write the CSS to understand the background properties, how we can use the background properties while designing the CSS. So let's jump into the Visual Studio Code. So now we are into the Visual Studio Code. So what we will do, we will create a class over here and we will do the declaration later. So just give a name that is called class, and here we will provide a name called static. Save it. Now here we will provide the class name static, and within that we can provide the declaration. So this is the selector, the class selector we have done. Now here we will tell that width we are going to keep 600 pixel and height also we are going to keep 600 pixel. Now what we will do, we will use another property that is called background, and we will specify the color background, and the color which we are going to keep is gray. So just write, you can write hash code as well, or you can provide the name. So we can tell that gray, so light gray we can tell that, semicolon. Save it. Let's look into the output. So here you will find that it has applied the background color to this div. So let's proceed further. So this way you can easily apply the color to the div using the background color. Now suppose if you want to apply the image, so what you will do, you need to tell that background and then you need to specify URL, and here you will specify the image. Here I have two images we have kept, so I'm going to apply the image as a background. So how we can apply that, we can apply like this. We can specify the location of the image, and the thing which we are going to use is css3.png. Save it. Let's look into the output. So here you will find that it has applied the image as a background and the image is repeating to fill the spaces. So how we can make sure that only single copy of the image will be used while applying image as a background. So let's look into that, how we can achieve that. Let's jump into the Visual Studio Code. So we are into the Visual Studio Code. To make sure that it will use only a single copy or say single image without repetition, we need to come to the end and we will tell that no repeat. Once we tell that no repeat, save it, go to the browser. Let's look into the output. So here you will find that it has applied the background image and which is not repeating. Now let's proceed further. Now here you will see that it is displaying the image at extreme left, but we want that it should display the image at the center. So how we can do that? So let's look into that. So for that case, we need to come over here and after no repeat, we will tell that we want to align it center. Save it. Let's jump into the browser. So see here, it has put the image at the center of the div. Now let's proceed further. Now what we want to control the size of this background image. So how we can do that? Let's look into that. So for that we are going to use a property called background size. So we are going to tell that the background size we want that 100 pixel. Save it. Let's look into the output. So here you will find that it has shrunk to 200 pixel. Now let's proceed further. So till now I have showed you we have provided all the properties in a single statement, but we can specify the different properties with different values. So let's look into that. Just remove all this and we can write individual properties. So we will tell that background color should be light gray, and then we will tell that background I want to keep image. So background image is going to be the URL, and we are going to tell that this image css3.png we are going to use, and then we are going to tell that the background repeat should be no repeat, and at last we have seen the background size and we want 200 pixel. This time we can tell that. Save it. Now let's look into the output. We forgot the background position, so we need to tell that background position, and the position we want center. Save it. Let's look into the output. So here you will see that we have achieved all the same thing which we were achieving with one line. So individually we can easily apply different background properties on this div. So this way you can easily manage the background within CSS. So I hope you enjoyed the session. See you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.